guys' experience, there's such a stigma in our community as it goes to Black men and mental health. And I wanted to know, like, basically some of the things that you guys experience, like I said, as all grown back men, some of you have kids. And I just want to know, like, your stories, basically what does your day-to-day look like as it pertains to, like, trauma and your mental health and the things that you go through.
I'll go, because, for me, I am in, like, the health services profession, being a psychologist. And a lot of times when you're a psychologist, people think you have it all together. People think your story is like perfect, cookie cutter. You went through the educational system, but the journey to get to where I'm at today, it was a lot of trials and tribulations. Growing up in a single parent home, raised by my mom, it's like people don't understand how traumatic that can be. Yes, you can learn things from your mom and be groomed into a good young man, but if you don't have like that positive male role model in your life, it's very difficult to see yourself in a world where you don't really see many examples of you. Mm-hmm. On my day-to-day, I'm the only male or only black male or only black person in the room or only black person sitting at the table making hard decisions. So it's like I'm walking in a room where I'm met with stereotypes. And I constantly feel like I have to contradict those things. That is an extreme burden to carry every day. And like I tell everybody else, mental health is important. You need to go talk to somebody. So just that little window of what I just said right then, it's like, it's a lot for me to even unpack, because I didn't expect to say it. But that's a lot within itself really to even share with somebody, because people may not even understand how that feels. It's like, you're a psychologist. Like, you've accomplished. You shouldn't even feel that way. Sure.
Like, being in the area that you're in, I hear a lot of black men, because I side with you, we all need counseling.
Right.
Whether you have a best friend but seek professional counseling, we need it, because post-traumatic stress, like we're feeling this even from slavery or whatever, you go into the workforce, wherever you're at, the white man or whoever is over you, we gotta act like the good niggas still. Yeah. But what about the people who say, I'm not talking to anybody? What do they do?
It's really hard. It's hard to say what they do. I mean, you see what they do. They should find someone that they feel comfortable. I recommend wholeheartedly going and talk to someone, seeking some professional services, because you going to the barbershop, that's only gonna get you so far. You're not gonna get real intimate details about what you go through in a public setting. You're not gonna do that.
Even if you do, you can't guarantee the appropriate responses and
somebody gonna laugh
at the help that you need.
But it's way deeper than, like you said, I found a psychologist or a therapist or something. Yeah. I'm like, okay, like I got the one thing you need to do is trust. Like as a black male, like, do we trust the healthcare system? No, like we've been mistreated through healthcare. Tuskegee experiment where they was using us and mistreating us. Yeah. We don't trust anything. You know what I mean? So
how can we when a lot of our society, I know this is well, a lot of our society growing up, it's not a lot of black men who we trusted already. So like, who do we follow?
Facts.
Like, we don't know who to trust. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go follow the drug dealer because he's the man in my hood. Yeah. So like, this is what's good, you know what I'm saying? And he's traumatized too, because in the hood or in our culture, like what we look to thrive to be, like it's not even that good. Like, you want to be this hustler, you know what I'm saying? Which is gonna put us back to where we don't want to be. Like, it's gonna put you back in the jails and
but what does Pac say though? Pac said they sold drugs, but they showed a nigga love.
Yeah.
Like in
his era.
In my era too.
Yeah. In my era.
I feel like the generation before us failed us, bro.
I'm gonna tell you, growing up, bro, and I'm gonna keep it 100, bro. I looked up to the drug dealer at one point in time, and I mean, everybody in goals.
We all did.
We was a big deal. But bro, I tried to sell weed for probably like 1 week. And this is what happened. He was like, "Little Oscar, man, that's not you." He said, "Man, you in them books and you good at basketball. You do that, I'll buy you a pair of shoes. I'll do this for you." But that's why I said, like, sometimes they do show love. But what I say is important is, it's good to seek professional help if you can. But what we don't think on the other end is healthcare costs, man. Yeah. And you can go to the emergency room and you're going to get a $120 bill at least, even with insurance. And that stuff adds up over time. So what I tell people, sometimes is find wise counsel. Whether it's your pastor, whether it's your grandfather, whether it's somebody who gives you good, sound advice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You need to have somebody
And
that you can talk to.
That's one of the
You
best
know that one of the
responses
better things it makes me think of from listening to you, you mentioned something about it, and you too, and it's just like you have to think about like the most important thing from my perspective. I can't, ever speak as a black man, but from what I can see, and you hate to say it, but like society itself is just not fair. You know what I mean? For you guys, you think about it. You have military soldiers that go to war. Like they go to war, they, lose friends, they lose family, they lose people. It's, lose themselves. They come home from experiencing that, and it's PTSD. We take care of them, and they're okay. And it's okay if they act this way because they're suffering from post-traumatic stress. The black man his life is post-traumatic stress, and he does not get the same courtesy. You kill his children, or take his family away from him, or prevent him from being a man inside of his home. And then when he acts out or he shows emotion behind it, he needs to either be shot, taken care of, handled, or in prison. It's not post-traumatic stress.
So a lot of things, and tell them, D-Wade, PTSD is not just having an emotional breakdown or freaking out really quick. Sometimes post-traumatic stress disorder is basically me seeing the world in a different way because this happened to me. So one thing I didn't realize that I grew up, like, Goldsboro is a real dangerous city. It's small, but we have a military base on the city, right? They sell guns to the niggas in the hood. And they get them, and they have stuff they're not supposed to have. AKs, SKs, and they shooting stuff up. And I didn't realize nothing was wrong with me until one time, we always had little parties. In high school you have parties at this hotel, that hotel. People would pride themselves in shutting the place down by shooting it up. And man, I was at this house party one time, and I was like, yo, they about to shoot the joint up. And they just started shooting, and I was just sitting on the side of the road like this, just watching it, and I was like, yo, something wrong with me, bro, because I'm not running no more. This is a problem. Desensitization, bro. You get desensitized to things, and that is the issue in the zone that we don't a lot of times realize.
It's become
because stuff gets stuff gets shot up every day now, and now it's normal to us. We get exposed to sex because when you're young, you're a black kid, you gotta have sex and this, that, and the thing. And you know what I'm saying? And now it doesn't. It's not a big impact. I told somebody, you see it the first time, it's a big shock, it's a big surprise. When we was kids, you couldn't curse on TV, right? It will bleep, bleep every single time they cursed on TV. Now you can say everything, do everything on TV to the point where now they do it and we don't even think about it. But when we was kids and we watched HBO and they said a curse word, it was like, oh,
we can't even say stuff in front of our parents.
But a major thing, and it's like it's good that we know that we need help. But that, for a lot of black men, that's where it stops. It's like, I know I need help, but the thing is, you can't be afraid to open up and ask questions. How many of us, if we get lost, gonna ask for directions?
Right.
I won't ask for directions. You want me to go tell somebody about some experiences that I had when I was a kid and really tell you my story and ask you for help, but I won't even ask you how to get around the corner.
Kid, you have to think of what the new normal is or what normalcy is. You've been suffering from whatever, or not asking for help for so long that what makes you as a grown man now want to do it? You had issues as a kid, you had feelings as a teenager, and what did you do about them? Nothing. You
couldn't my feelings don't
open
matter
up as a kid.
Right.
You didn't have the space to communicate your feelings and needs as a kid either, because you had to be a man as a child.
As a kid.
I was about to say, I'll go and chime in real quick. One thing that changed my perspective on everything that I am now and who I want to be is I met a really super successful dude, like millionaire, when I was like 10, right? And he said, the reason I am the way I am is because of balance and peace. I said, oh, how did you get to that point? He said, I had a therapist, I had a business coach, I had a life coach, and me and my wife had a counselor. What do I have now? I have all those aspects, because when I was earlier on, a guy came to me that was a black man that was super successful, that I said, I want to be like that. He said, this is how you get to that level. Until we get to the point to where we can break that down with the youngins that we see and say, yo, this is okay. Like, there's such a bad connotation between black people and therapists. Like, therapy is a thing that you go to in order to find a level of peace. You don't always, and I think we talked about it like the last episode, is talking with your wife or your significant other. You can't tell them everything. You need another outlet to go to. And I'll tell you another thing on that is initially when I found a therapist, I used to think that I needed somebody that looked just like me. I have those conversations with individuals in my barbershop or like whatever it is. I needed somebody that was completely different than me so I could learn another perspective because I wanted to grow. So those are just some of the things that like I was blessed enough to have earlier on.
By saying that, it makes sense because a lot of times we as people, we only want people that's gonna tell us what we want to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or somebody that can relate.
You know where I'm coming from, so you like me, But sometimes you need to tell somebody, well, yo, I hear where you're coming from, but that's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
You gotta have those people in your corner that tells you, yo, oh, you wrong, bro. And you know that's not us. That's not necessarily right.
But we
I
don't
think we all have barriers
idolize
too.
mental
Not to
health
cut
and
you off,
success.
because I want to make sure I hit his point. We all have barriers to whether it's being comfortable with going to therapy or trusting the mental health system. Those are barriers, but we need more people to share their stories.
Yeah.
We need more people to share their positive stories and experiences with therapy so that we can see someone that looks like me that went to therapy and had success.
That's the problem.
Because that's what I don't see.
That's the solution.
Yeah.
That is a solution to the problem.
It goes back to what he says. He saw somebody who he identified as success. A lot of times we don't see people and be like, oh man, he's a strong-minded, like that's successful. Like we thinking, oh man, if he got money, he's successful. But the nigga who is controlled by the money, he might be the hurtest one. You know what I mean? But
And that's what we're blinded by.
And the thing is, all the things that you saw in this guy, it might not have worked for you.
Yeah, true.
But what it did, it gave you somewhere to start.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was the most important part. It wasn't like, oh, like let me remodel myself after him. It was like, all right, I know this guy's successful. He does this, and this. I know if I do this, and this, I'm gonna have the best start at getting to where he is. You know what I mean? Everything might not work, but you gotta try stuff. You gotta guess and check.
Yeah. And it's also about how do you select that person too.
I
Say
was
if you,
just gonna
say
say
if you grew up around
my
a
God.
pastor who was very successful, and then you had an uncle who was a drug dealer that was very successful.
Yeah.
You look at it like, well, who do I look up to?
And that's
Unc is cooler. He goes here.
Or what if
he's
it's
got a lot
the
of money,
exact
etc.
opposite, right? Like what if you see this guy and you see this guy in a one off, maybe two off scenario. You know, you run into him, hey, I like the way you look, I like the way you move, I saw you a couple times. So he's your, unicorn of a person, but every single day, maybe you see your uncle or your father, who's exactly probably what you don't want to be.
Yeah.
Like if it's,
But you only
most
got
men want
access
to
to
be
the
that.
uncle.
That's what, but that's who you see every single day, and so it's just like, what are you doing? Like because you want to be like your dad, I would imagine. If your dad's in the home and you're a black guy.
You are so on point with this because that's my experience.
Mhm.
Every day I saw something I didn't want to be, and this is no disrespect to the people I grew up with and my family members, but I saw the redundancy in what they were doing in the patterns of life. I did not want that for me. I did not want to bring kids into this world, into this system, this way of life. So for me, at an early age, I made it my business to go and get whatever it is I need to succeed in life.
And
whatever it is.
To piggyback off you, when I first came in here, I came to O and I came to Live. We're in the same profession. We all three of us are occupational therapists. I don't see people that look like me daily. I work at 2 different buildings. I'm the only black therapist. Every other black person is a cook or they're in custodian. So it's like when I first came in, I said, oh, how's OT treating me? Live, how's OT treating me? You said find wise counsel. So whenever I have a problem, I'm gonna go to one of them because they do look like me. They know what I'm going through. And it's like as a kid, it kind of starts in your home about perception. Because I know a kid is gonna look at somebody that has Gucci, that has Louis, think he's successful. But they don't know that boy probably still staying with his mama. You got to look at somebody else like it's up to the parents to kind of shape their minds while they can.
And identify what success is.
Going off of that, and I always talk to you about this because last season you said comparison kills, and that sticks with me so much because comparison almost took my life. Like when I was in school, like my mom, when we were young, she had 3 boys. She raised them by herself. And when I was coming up, it's when my mom started getting her money up. So in my community, I was getting a little bit better. She got to the point where she could move me out of that situation, right? So I'm thinking, okay, like we're moving up. Then we move into, I went to an all-white high school. It was probably like 12 black people in my graduating class of 600. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So then my whole situation switched, right? My whole situation switched. So where I came from, we coming up, now I'm the broke friend. I'm the one that can't afford to go off campus for lunch, and then I start comparing. Like, then it starts to hit me. Then I'm starting like, oh man, like all my friends can go out and I gotta chill, or I gotta ask my friend for $5 for lunch today. And it got to the point where I was like, yo man, like I don't want to live in this world no more. Like, you know what I mean? Like I remember I called my brother like, yo man, I was like, I just can't do this shit no more. Like I'm tired of being broke. Like I'm tired of being that one that. And my friends, you know, they might joke on you, and you know what I mean. It's love jokes though, you know what I mean. They don't really want me to pay them back, but they don't know inside. I'm like, damn, bro, I don't want to be that nigga, but I gotta ask y'all for like, or I can't go, you know what I mean. I don't want to be that person, you know what I mean. And it wasn't until like I said, I hit rock bottom, bro, and I was like, yo, I don't want to do this no more, you know what I mean.
So like you said, I think for us, it's our job, our generation's job to help the youth define success. It's not in money, it's in quality of life. Because Kate Spade, she just killed herself.
Money don't make you happy, man.
That's what I'm saying.
The richest man in the world is getting a divorce.
That's what I'm saying. So it's quality of life.
She gonna find another quality of life.
She said.
But even
Life.
because more specifically though, because I was listening to y'all talk about it, and I've been getting on like instructors and directors and other people that I work with on a daily basis, counseling them about how we describe things that we want other people to participate in, right? So what we'll do is we'll say, like, I want my employees to get better, so I want them to go to training, right? And then that's the end of the statement, but you haven't defined the work, right? So there's an aversion to training because I have my own ideas about what that is, right? Which may be separate and distinct, or sometimes even opposite from what your ideas are, right? Or what the intent is. You tell a person, go talk to someone. And I say, about what? Right? And how's that talking different from this talking, right? What are they going to ask me that this person hasn't already asked me, right? What they going to say that my pastor haven't said, that my mama haven't said, right? That God haven't said, right? Like, and what ends up happening is that if you can't help people navigate the conversation, they're not going to have it, right? You think about why any hard conversation you've ever had in your life, or any hard conversation you've ever dodged, you likely dodged it because you don't know how to have it, right? You like, I don't know how this gonna go. I don't know how you're gonna respond. I don't know if I'm gonna have the answer. And that creates an anxiety in and of itself, right, around the activity. So if you haven't defined that these are the rules, right? This is what we're gonna do. This is what the intention is. This is how we'll know we're successful and we're finished. When you do that, even the hardest of conversations are like, I mean, we're gonna do this, right? We're gonna talk about, because I know that we're not gonna yell, we're not gonna curse, whatever. I'm thinking about personal relationships, your friends, your whatever, it doesn't particularly matter. But so as a side point to that, or maybe even as a backup, I think when we're talking about what we can do, what we don't have is an abundance of information, right? So we're talking about what everybody doesn't know, but we're not talking about who's not telling them. You see what I'm saying? So we're a circle of people who got the answers, apparently, at least to this question. But we're not talking about what responsibility we have personally to spread that, right? So I can't say black men don't go to therapy, and I haven't encouraged you to go. I haven't talked to you about how that session is, what you should expect, what questions you should come with, ones you should expect to be asked, right? I haven't given you anything to read or look up or to delve into before you engage in this activity, but I'm saying you ain't go.
And I think that's the issue. That's where we're getting better at this generation. Because what's scary, the scary part of this is because it's become the norm, because none of us knew that it was wrong to begin with. We just succumb to the fact that this is the way to move. Like, I'm hurting, so I'm going to continue to hurt. I have nobody to ask, so I'm going to ask myself.
I grind through the
Now we got leaders coming back, and everybody's reaching out like somebody reached out to you and taught you. You know what I'm saying? Or you seek, somebody like me, I'm going to learn. So now, when somebody sees that it's cool to go talk to therapists, how we're making it seem, people are hearing the word, and now we're going to get
this
back.
is the work, but this is the work, though. Like, we're the first generation to really pay attention to this stuff, if you think about it. That's why I led and said our previous generation of black men, well, we have a difference of opinion.
I'm about to tell you.
The generation before us of black men, I know for a fact, me and a lot of the black brothers I know who are in my area, never had black men to tell us to go talk to somebody. Right. Never talked to us about counseling, the importance of mental health. Or suck it up. Right. Like those traits that they put in us do not translate well into today's society.
The difference of opinion that we have is that I'm not prioritizing professional counseling. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying that our culture perhaps is one of the primary practitioners of counseling, especially interculturally. We talking about why there's a reason why you lean on your uncle, lean on a drug dealer. What we're talking about is a more productive way to engage in that activity. It's not so much that we are going to begin getting counseling where we haven't. It's where we seek that counseling out at, and what the expectation is, right? Because we're saying, you go talk to your neighborhood drug dealer because you want to feel good, not because you want to be healthy, right? So this is a difference of right? Like, if you want to be better, then you would choose a different therapist. You see what I'm saying? But I only say that to say this.
You're talking about source.
I'm talking about intention.
Okay, gotcha.
Like, so my thing is that my very last point is that we haven't talked about what the motivation should be, right? So when we talk about like quality life or whatever, we're not talking about why you need to go, right? We're just saying black men hurt, they need to go. But what does that mean? What is
this right here?
Yeah.
So
it means free your soul.
Yeah.
But see, and then
free your soul.
it's perfect that you say that. It's perfect that you say that.
That's the question we asking.
But what I'm saying is that even in identification, right? Because a large part of the conversation has to be that there have been things that have become a part of our normal that are not, right? And the benefit of having the kind of counseling that we're talking about, to Wiggs' point, is that you're dealing with somebody whose normal is different than yours, right? So it's a recalibration. If I told you that we need to go to therapy for recalibration, what does that mean, right? That we have a normal setting, our zeroed out is really 30 pounds, right? For us, we walk around and normal is a ton. It's not zero. You see what I'm saying? If you go to a person whose world and weight is different and distinct from yours, they say, this ton you've been carrying ain't normal.
You just think it is.
Right? We let that weight go, bro. Like your new level should be zeroed out. You know what I mean? And I think when we talk about, so the conversation may be about identifying your life experience so that we can look at what experiences were potential sources of trauma, right? And then we look at, I'm just detailing what a description of the conversation might go like.
On a higher order, a high level of thinking too.
Going off what he said earlier, is like when I felt like I hit rock bottom, wasn't anything nobody could say to me.
Yeah, facts.
That I haven't heard before. But it took me doing, and that's the benefit of the age that we're in now, in this computer and this tech age. I can go Google, like, how do I get help? How do I feel better about myself? And things will start coming up. You start doing the research, like. Even in music, now you see artists coming out, like Kid Cudi just came out a couple years ago, said he makes music for people who are depressed. Kanye West and all these antics and all these things are coming out, and he's like, yo, like, and everybody starts attacking him, like Kanye has mental issues. Like Jay-Z even said he went to therapy when all that whole scandal came out, and it's like now you got the access to go figure out and find the information. Like there's a avenue that you can go to, and it's Pound You Good Man. Like, and if you go look at that, it's really the information coming out saying like. These are questions to go ask a therapist because, like I said, we don't really trust them. So it's like, well, let me give you a set of questions to ask so you feel like somebody's not out to get you. You know what I mean? These are how you know somebody really wants you to heal. These are the questions you ask, and these are the things you do. But it all started with the information, and it all starts with yourself. Like I had to choose that I wanted to be better. I had to choose that I wanted to live, and I had to get help, and then I can go seek help. Because the thing is, somebody told me to go see a therapist. Cool, but I don't really want the help. I'll just go and I'll go chill. Like. I'll go listen to him, but if I don't want to heal, then he can just talk all he wants. Right? Like, you know what I mean? And that's it. But you got to choose for yourself, like, because the brain is so important, you got to choose, like, I want to live.
Peace and blessings, good people.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We just want to thank y'all for tuning in to season 3, Black Fly on the Wall.
Aren't you happy that you get me, a woman's perspective? Black Fly on the Wall is typically about men and their thoughts. I like to add my 2 cents.
And that's a wrap. Definitely had a good time speaking on different topics. I hope you all enjoy. Share this, comment. It's meant to. Damn, I need to start over again. And that's a wrap. That's it. Damn, bro.
You got the chair all far back. You know, I'm sure I got the other folks. Cool. Thank you all for tuning in. Check out season. Right? I'm like, bruh. Thank you all for tuning in to season 3 of Black Fly on the Wall.
Thanks for rocking with us, Black Fly on the Wall, season 3.
And that's a wrap for this episode. We hope you enjoy. It's meant to spark conversations in your home and create change.
What's good, world? It's Aaron Lod, producer of Black Fly on the Wall. I just want to thank you
for tuning in, sharing, liking, commenting. Please subscribe below to our YouTube channel and share with your friends. Talk about it in the barbershop, hair salon, wherever you may be. But we appreciate your time and your effort into listening to what we have to say. We hope you enjoy the topics. God bless.
As a swindler, say sweeping up these chains like I never been a prisoner. Exchange these chains for angels in my perimeter. Never be the same, I'm flawed, but I'm forgiven, bro. I'm flawed, but I'm forgiven, bro. I'm flawed, but I'm forgiven.